look up to you, but I think it'll be a whole lot more once we begin to do this work together. So thank you for doing this first and foremost.
Of course,
Yeah.
anytime.
Right. So first, I want you to kind of go through your background and explain a little bit about yourself before we get into the topic. You from Compton, California,
Yes, sir.
born and raised, right?
I'm born and raised in. I was born in Los Angeles, and we
Okay.
migrated to Compton.
Can you explain a little bit about the neighborhood that you're from?
The neighborhood that I grew up in, Luders Park. One of the first neighborhoods that, well, on the east side, one of the first neighborhoods when the gang violence started. I grew up right across the street from Luders Park. Matter of fact, we still own our home there. Been there all our life. Um, First experience, first gang banging at first hand. First generation. So I've been there through it all, seen it all, done some of it, and now I've let the devil hand go, and I'm trying to walk as close to God as possible.
Hey, what's good? I'm here with the guy Neighborhood Real, aka Mad Pumpkin. Um, why they call you Neighborhood Real, bro?
Oh man, they call me Neighborhood Real. First and foremost, let me salute to everybody that's listening, that's going to watch this. They call me Neighborhood Real. That's just my channel name on YouTube. So they
Okay.
basically be calling me by my channel name instead of my name in the streets. But when people think neighborhood, that's what they kind of think. So my
Right.
my particular brand is based upon the community. Like when I grew up as a kid, it was a neighborhood. It was a community thing. The neighborhood raised you.
Okay. We here with my guy Blood Evil from the infamous Stop Six, Truman Street, Pyru, Fort Worth, Texas. What's going on, bro?
Yeah. Man. Remember, form. You know what I'm saying? That ain't going on right now.
Explaining to me about your story. I thought it was real profound. So I wanted us to be able to get on here and everything we doing now is for the youth and trying to help save as many lives as we can. And you've been active in Fort Worth in gang wars, correct?
Yeah. Hmm.
So um what this particular conversation about is about emotional intelligence. And
Yeah.
you told me about your story and knowing the legendary status that you had, I had already heard the story in Fort Worth where you being from the Red Rag side got into a shootout in a local mall uh,
Yeah.
with a whole bunch of Crips. And you had explained to me that leading up to that, you had got into a fight with the mother of your child, and
Yeah.
you that's what sent you over the edge and made you say that you was gonna go to the mall. And can you explain what the thoughts that was in your head when you said
That
that?
must have been the trigger. You know what I'm saying? So I
Right.
was like, now I'm finna go to the town center mall and shoot up by 25 Crips. You know what I'm saying? And go out on TV tossing up my set. You know what I'm saying? Which I felt like at that time as an adolescent or a youth, I felt like that would have been the ultimate thing. You know what I'm saying? Like I'd have been the greatest gang member it ever was type. You know what I'm saying? But you know, as I thought about it too, I was like, well, you ain't gonna get to toss up your set because you're gonna be handcuffed. You know, if you don't
Right.
die in the middle of it or whatever.
Right.
So you know, I got to thinking like after that went like that, I realized that God look out for old folks and fools. But I
Right.
wasn't using no type of intelligence. You know what I'm saying? Because you, I guess when you gang banging and you still like got a kid mind, you know what I'm saying? You're not thinking properly. You know what I'm saying? Because
Correct.
I thought what I was doing was actually right, huh? Nobody
Right.
couldn't tell me I was wrong for gang banging because they had did something to me or to us. or to the people around me. Like my little brother got shot in the face, and a couple of my homeboys that got shot and everything. So I felt like what I was doing was paying, paying homage to them that got shot and going back and retaliate. That was, what I'm saying, the thing to do back then.
Right. Right. And upon this happening, this caused you to end up going to youth detention center.
Yeah, after I shot up the mall, whatever. Thank God I didn't kill nobody or nothing. You know what I'm saying? The circumstances ended up where I had two guns, but the one I threw it ended up getting put on the grown dude, the grown crip dude I was chasing. You know what I'm saying? I guess they didn't. That wasn't on camera. You know what I'm saying? So me knowing my street smarts, you know what I'm saying? I was like, nah, somebody pulled a gun on me and shot at me. I didn't shoot at nobody.
Right.
Because remember I had two guns, so the 380 I had, it hadn't been fired. You know what I'm saying? So that's what they caught me with in the two clips from the 380. You know what I'm saying? So when they pulled me out the car, I ran back to the car, which the one that I was in. I just didn't know that they had cameras in the lights. You know what I'm saying? So they kind of seen everything. So they knew I was in the car. They surrounded the car, jigged me out the car. You know what I'm saying? Had me on the ground, all that. Went right up under the car. I was wondering how they went so fast under the car and pulled the strap out and put it on the pencil. You know what I'm saying? But I was caught anyway because I had the holster and I had the other two clips to the 380. You know what I'm saying? So that was it right there.
Okay. And um, with being emotional intelligent, can you explain how you have learned to control your emotion and to think yourself through different situations in life?
You saying when did I learn it or
No.
how did I learn it?
Yeah. How did you learn?
Oh, through all the things in my life. You know what I'm saying? Through all the things I went through in my life. Because when I was young, basically I just react. I don't think.
Right.
You step on my toe, I'll hit you in your jaw. If you punch me, I shoot you. That's how I thought life was. You know what I'm saying? Growing up, trying to
Right.
be a young gangster. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
I never thought about anything. You know what I'm saying? It's just like you do something and I react. So as I got older, I started to think. You know what I'm saying? Before I react. You know what I'm saying? And then that's when I guess that's when my emotional intelligence is starting to come in. You
Correct.
know what I'm saying?
Right. And over the years, how many of your loved ones, friends, family, have you either lost to an early demise or to the penitentiary system because it was a situation where somebody wasn't controlling it?
Man, probably at least about, I can say about 200, about 200 people. Don't make a lifetime decision based off of temporary emotion. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a lot of people locked up in the penitentiary over, like I said, you stepped on my shoe and I shot you. That probably didn't last nothing but what, 5 seconds? You know what I'm saying? Because it ain't no thinking about it. It's just you disrespect me or I believe you disrespect me because I'm not even giving them time to say I'm sorry.
The other thing I want to ask you about is emotional intelligence. And if you, knowing what you know now, could go back and talk to the younger you that ended up catching the sentence, what would you tell him?
For the most part, I would go back being the younger me and knowing how I was then, the arrogance, because once I had got engulfed into the streets and doing what I was doing, I felt arrogant about it. So I would ask myself, go back and tell myself to humble myself. Then I would sit myself down and talk about you know, having discipline over your emotions. Because if we don't discipline our emotions, because I had that problem where I would let things bother me, and then instead of acting on them in a rational way or a logical way, I would let that manifest into some type of level of physical altercations or some type of level of violence. So that was just me acting out emotionally instead of reasonably and consciously looking at what I'm doing. So I would go back
Right.
and tell myself to learn discipline and control my emotions and how I look at things.
The last question I want to ask you is how many people that you consider friends, loved ones, comrades, do you think you lost either to the penitentiary system or to an early demise based on the fact that it was people that couldn't control their emotions?
I'm loosely guessing by close to 9 to 12. After the fact,
Okay.
lost and just going to prison just straight up, probably I don't know, probably 50 or 60 different
Okay.
people that I'm cool with, personal friends, close friends, four that did extensive time, 20 plus years.
Or excuse me, I already done hit them. I already done what I'm gonna do. So it's like you have no, you're so young, or your brain ain't developed enough. You know what I'm saying, to even think about it when you that young. You know what I'm saying. So
And when I say tired, I'm really tired of the violence. But you say, what do I feel like it means for my emotional intelligence? Um,
Right. Versus the you now and how you exercise uh your intelligence whenever you're in a situation that could um heed a person having an emotional response now versus then. What have you learned?
Ooh, I've learned not to react to everything that's thrown my way, and I'm big on conflict and resolution. You know, with the youth, as well as anyone else. I've learned that uh, given some when something is thrown your way, and uh, I'm because I see so many people experience this. You know, they don't know how to deal with it when some things come their way. Uh,
Right.
I've I've learned myself and watching a few others. I have a brother that when something happened to react, and it almost got him a lifetime in prison. You have to sometimes sit back and think. And there's a saying that's been going around since I was a kid. The old folks say, you count to 10 before you react to something, because a lot of times things don't be as bad as you think they are. And sometimes some of the things that you react to, or somebody telling you something, you don't know if it's true or not. So I always feel like it's best to find out. And sometimes you can, work things out, as opposed to saying, we gonna fight, or going to get a gun, or going to try to kill somebody. And especially in this day and time, because you can be reacting to somebody that may be a family member, or killing somebody that you or shooting at somebody, or hurting somebody that you're related to. So I think for myself, and then seeing all the deaths that I've experienced firsthand, or the bodies that I had to identify when no one else was there, uh, seeing some of them things have really, really made me have waken me up, and have helped me to change my mindset, and to try to change the mindset of a lot of the youth. You don't have to react to everything somebody said, or you don't have to jump to every fight that's thrown at you. It's not
Right.
worth it. Some things you can work out. I know growing up, we would say we're not turning down nothing, and you're not walking away
Right.
from nothing because I'm not a punk. But you don't have to be a punk, or because you walk away. I mean, you could be saving your life, and possibly the person that you're getting into it with.
Correct. Correct. And how many homeboys would you say you lost either to the prison system or an early demise just based on the fact that it was somebody that couldn't control their emotions?
Whew. Where do I start at? I say well over 1,000. You know,
Wow.
well over 1,000. That's young. I have a briefcase of obituaries, right?